don't know video games, and I don't know you, so that means you don't know me. So let me introduce myself. I'm Ben Rosenthal, one of the people who sits here talking about video games, even though I don't really know video games like you don't know video games. It's the whole gimmick, Dan. I say you don't know video games enough, the SEO picks it up and goes, oh, these guys must be all right. Dan McGuinness is still here.
I'm Dan.
You what?
I'm Dan.
You're Dan?
My Dan.
You're Dan? What Dan?
My name is Daniel McGuinness.
Danny
Shannon McGuinness.
Are you like me? You getting like your full name was only ever said when you were in trouble by your parents?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so like I only get Benjamin when I'm in big trouble with my mom. Benjamin?
Is that your name?
That's my actual name. Don't dox me, everyone.
I thought that was just your wrestling persona.
No. So my wrestling persona is called Benjamin Rosenthal because Benjamin's such a Ponzi name.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
You think
come out saying...
Benjamin's a Ponzi name?
Absolutely it is. So upper...
I
Oh,
think-
hello, I'm Benjamin. Oh, would you like some scones and tea?
What about Percy?
I reckon Benjamin's more Ponzi.
I hear the name Benjamin and I can only think of Benjamin Button, and
That-
I've never
that's
seen
all I
that
thought
film.
as well.
Yep.
Well,
Getting younger?
I mean, I look like Brad Pitt, but, you know. Well, I look like Brad Pitt's left testicle.
You look like Brad Pitt at the start of the film.
It's like Brad
He's
Pitt,
an 80-year-old baby.
Brad Pitt carved out of a potato.
Damn.
But we're here to talk about some retro horror games. Seeing as how Dan is your limb collecting horror aficionado, I thought it only appropriate to go back and discuss and look at some of the classic retro games that delve into the world of horror.
Now, Dan, we probably aren't going to have much of a chance to hear about some other horror stuff. What's some other horror stuff you've been enjoying recently other than video games?
I've been playing Silent Hill 2.
Other than video games.
I watched the new Hellboy film.
How was that?
Hellboy, The Crooked Man. I was unbelievably shocked on how good it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, well, you know, the last couple of Hellboy films have been pretty ratty.
Yep.
That one had potential with like the sheriff from Stranger Things.
Yep. Stranger Things.
Like it had potential, and then it just like fell apart. But this new one is like it opens up, and it's like this full, like I don't know. It's like a kind of an Argento film. Like it feels like, but with Hellboy in it, and it's like a folk horror, and there's witches, and it's just a couple of characters, you know, in the woods, like you know. It's crazy, weird. Like, you know, Hellboy movies are usually out there and, you know, and they're not saving the world, which I like.
That's good.
It's just about them getting out of this situation. And
More films like that. Like The Raid was like that as well. You're not saving the world. You just want to get out of this goddamn
I think
high rise.
I think horror movies work a lot better when there's not many people in them. And
Yep.
like you
It's
know,
not high stakes.
Small ensemble cast. It's not about like, as soon as you're saving the world, no one can relate to saving the world.
No.
Like you can only relate like.
I mean, if you're American, you're too busy destroying it.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's easy to destroy America. You just don't vote. Like, but yeah, that was really, really good. And are there any other horror ones?
What else what have you been reading recently in horror stuff?
Horror reading. That is true. What have I been reading?
Brayden, you seem to know the answer.
Yeah.
Well, you've been reading, and then also there's a hit anime that's been crazy that's got your name in it twice.
Oh, Dan to Dan. Yeah, that's Dan to Dan anime is really good. I mean, I haven't watched it. I haven't read it, but everyone is telling me how good it is.
Have you watched any of Dragon Ball Daima?
No, but everyone says that's good as well.
Brayden, have you seen any of Daima?
No, the where they get turned into kiddos.
Yep.
I've not yet.
Yeah,
I
need
want
It's
to...
got fighting in it.
I want to
Yeah.
play the new game first.
I'll watch that.
Have you seen the new game? You've seen Sparkling, Dragon Ball Z Sparkling?
Yeah, it's just like the Fighters one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
just another
it's
one.
not like fighters. It's like the old school PS2 games.
Sorry. No, it's not like Fighter Z.
Bokudin.
Yeah. Takahashi.
Bakugan?
Yeah. But he has
Bakugan.
alternate
Budokai
realities.
Tenkaichi,
What?
thank you.
Has alternate realities.
Yeah, I do like the bits. I watched all the videos of when you meet different versions of yourself.
Yep.
And like just the stuff you say, like all the characters like reacting to fight, like Goku fighting like Goku Blue, like God, whatever, and he's like, it looks like I got better, and you know stuff like that.
I saw a great one today as I was just scrolling through TikTok, and it had Goku, Kid Goku from GT, Kid Goku from Dragon Ball, Kid Goku from something else, and then Gotenks.
Yeah,
And they go, oh wow, I'm young. Oh wow, look at me. And then Gotenks just goes, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. Anyway, we're going to talk about horror games. You should sit back and enjoy something.
Our post horror Halloween horror special.
Yes. Brayden,
Hi.
we've got a game club.
We do. We do have a game club.
What's the game club?
The game club is a wonderful time where we each list a couple of games, we roll a couple dice, and we see each episode what game we're all going to be playing next, so we can all chat about one single game together as friends.
What was the last one?
Ideally, we want to play games that are easily accessible, that everyone can enjoy, and not have games where... I don't know. You have to go around one of our co-hosts' house and get the PlayStation 2 version of a game. Because, yeah. Anyway, last game. So we've been through quite a few, Dan. We each pick one. And then, obviously, our Patreon producer-level supporters, Dylan the Villain and Michael Towns, each also have a game that they put in the pile. We've played such games such as Space Quest on the Sierra, by Sierra, Murder Soul Suspect. We've had Shinobi 3. We've had Dicey Dungeon. We've had Wolfenstein 3D and Blaster Master.
Wolfenstein 3D.
Hell yeah!
It's okay.
That's great. What are you talking about? Anyway, the game that we had to play this time round is from Michael Towns, and it was I Want to Be the Guy, the movie, the game.
Is that a real game?
It's a real game. It's a little flash game that I think came out in the early 2000s. So this was Michael Towns' submission for us to all to play. Brayden, did you play this?
I certainly gave it a crack.
Me too. What do you think?
Not for me.
No, I'd even go as to say, fuck this game.
This game hates you.
Yes, it
This
wants
game-
you to die lonely, and it probably wants your puppy dead as well.
Oh my god.
Looks like a precursor to Celeste.
Yeah.
It's one of those like designed to be so difficult platformers, but is also like at any point in time, like you get far enough in this game, it just starts to meme on you.
Yep.
And like I can just feel it bullying me.
Yep. It's like the Lost Levels. If the Lost Levels had a switchblade,
Yeah.
and it was just slowly jabbing it into your jugular.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
Mike Tyson.
This game just is out here to joke on you and mess
How
with
do you get out of that? Oh,
It was sort of like memes before memes were a big thing.
Yeah. Like when I
this
I
is
assume
like
this was
the
around
"You're
era-
the man now" dog era.
Yeah, the impact font on like the top and bottom of images. I reckon it was that era.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. I got to admit, I played it for maybe 10 minutes and went, nah.
Yeah.
Which was longer than I played Speed Racer, so...
Oh, oof.
Is that a floppy game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was raving about...
I'll never forgive him for that Jumanji. I can't believe you got that. And he goes, "What? It might be good." I'm like, "Well, what? No."
No.
And then I had Jumanji going, "Oh, I took it back."
Dear Floppy.
Floppy.
That's not in his list, though. But yeah, we don't have the others here to get their thoughts, so we might as well
I'm
move
pretty
on.
sure I saw Floppy yesterday, and he said I played it for about maybe 15 minutes, and it was driving him insane.
Yep. I don't think it would be a floppy game.
Is that a bit there what you had to do in the game? Like you
I
had to
have no
fall
idea.
on fire and
fall-
land at the very start of the game in a puddle?
I did not get this far.
No, nor
I
did
did
I.
not get this
I didn't
far.
even get up to Mike Tyson.
Jesus. I did get up to Mike Tyson after a fair crack, and I was like,
Wow, you put a lot of effort into it, Brayden.
yeah, I tried. I gave it a go.
What?
Oh, that's like riding
Oh my
on Link.
god.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I see that.
For the podcast listeners, this game's insane. Just
This
imagine
is-
the most insane 8-bit video game you can, and that's it.
That's just
Yeah.
riffing on. Oh, it's a Nintendo game, like just
Oh.
stealing their
IP?
IP.
This game hates you.
Look at that! It's like inconsistent timing on the
Oh my
spikes.
god.
No, thank you. Anyway, thanks, Michael Towns. It's a good thing you're a beloved Patreon because I'd want to stab you.
Because you clearly hate us.
Yeah.
Oh, look, they're the zombies from Ghouls and Ghosts.
I'm going to skip further into this. I just want to see how insane... We are 4 minutes into this video, by the way.
How long does it go for?
It goes for this video is 40 minutes.
40 minutes this game goes for?
Yeah.
What is that even referencing?
That'd be a Cheap from Mario Brothers 2.
It is indeed.
What is he in missiles? Look.
Yeah, he's shooting out his eggs.
That's actually a cool idea.
Yeah.
What is going on here? Let's see.
Anyway, as enthralling as this is for those, this is Ryu doing a hurricane kick. Cool. For the podcast listeners,
Yeah, it's not.
no, it's not at all.
Not at all.
I think it might be
Mega Man.
time to choose our next game for the next fortnight.
Next game.
Now, we've all had a shot, so I believe by default it's Dylan the Villain's pick.
Dylan the Villain.
What about
Dylan
me?
the Villain. Well, you're not going to be here next show.
That's true.
So, Dylan has 2 games. So, can you bring up
I believe Dylan told me at work today he has 3 games.
You got
thank
three?
You got learnt.
You've
It's
got
a
to check
birdo,
it.
not
Oh.
a cheap.
Oh, no, I stand corrected. Cheap's the fish.
Yeah.
You.
Now I know what he's talking about.
Cheap,
Birdo's that like thing, the pink
Yeah, it
thing.
goes
with
root. Yep.
I believe Dylan has 3 and he sent you a 3rd.
Oh, I didn't write it down. Dylan the Villain, can you please sign up in the chat what your 3rd one is?
I'm trying to remember what the 3rd one was. He told me all 3 of them, but I can't remember what the
All
3rd
right,
one
so
was.
we've got, at the moment, Dylan the Villain has, for us to play, Escape Academy, Theme Hospital, or a 3rd. Which
Thing Hospital.
Theme Hospital.
Theme Hospital.
Theme. That was actually, it's one of Jazz's favourite games. I had to hunt down that game for the PS2 so she could play it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
What was the first one?
Escape Academy.
How do you
I-
pick which one?
I've heard a bit about this.
Well, this
We
is...
roll the dice.
We roll a dice.
So we got 3 picks. Whenever Dylan.
So is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the day?
Day of the
was
Tentacle.
it.
Oh,
Day
a
of the
classic.
Tentacle.
Oh, that's a long one though.
Classic. Well, we don't have to finish it.
Maniac Mansion. That's where it's at.
All right. Are we ready? So, Ben, you get to assign these numbers however you do because you do weird stuff.
So, 1 and 3 is the first one. 2 and
monster.
4 is the second. And 3 and 6 is the third.
I hate that.
1, 2,
Okay, here we
3,
go.
4, 5, 6.
Well, where's the fun in that?
5.
5. I've forgotten what that one is. Theme Hospital.
Theme Hospital.
Theme Hospital. I might play this with Jazz.
Yeah, you should get Jazz in on it.
Yeah. Because she can talk all about it. Because it's like the one game that she's good at.
Theme Hospital.
She's not here, so I can let everyone know. Jazz, famously, in my household, I went out once and she decided she was going to play the Super Nintendo. I went out for a couple of hours, came back probably 2 or 3 hours, and she was still on the first world. I said, oh, you gotten back to it? She goes, oh, no, I'm still playing it. I went, oh, you're on the first world. She goes, yeah, I haven't got it past it yet.
What was it?
The first level of Super Mario World.
Whoa.
After like 2.5 hours.
Whoa.
I shouldn't shame her. She was having a good time.
Hey,
Wait
good
up.
to know.
Was she high? Like, it's like even if you just walk one direction in that game for a couple of minutes, you win.
This is Super Mario World, the Super Nintendo version, not
Yeah, that's-
Brothers.
The first world's just like, isn't it just that one? It's just like, welcome to this world. Anyhow.
Yeah.
so-
Anyway, but yes, I mean she's not a gamer. She doesn't play games.
But she
very
fully
much.
got into it.
But this one I've seen her play. She has all the muscle memory of this game. So I'm going to give this a crack, and I'm going to give it a crack on the PlayStation 2. In fact, the game's right in there because it was still in the PlayStation 2 when I went to play Speed Racer.
Oh, bless.
Did you had yuck?
What? Did I play Speed
Just
Racer?
emulate it.
Well, you know, that's one of the things that we do here. We preserve video games. It's basically The Sims, but in a hospital. And you have to take care of patients.
I hate the Sims.
I think that person died. They threw
Good.
him in the trash. All right, speaking about people dying, I decided to do a bit of a topic, a bit of a look at some of the best retro horror games. Seeing as how that is your forte, Dan. You do like your horror. So I've got here, I think, 5 retro horror games that came in very high regard. Be interested to see.
These are good ones. These aren't just like the crappiest.
No, these are actually really well ones. And
But Dan, I do
recommendations.
expect you to tell us about some real shitters.
Oh yeah,
I
at
can
the
probably
end.
tell you about the good ones. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, we'll go through this list first. See if you recognise any of them.
I'm not going to look at them.
All right, good.
I looked over before, but I realised that my eyesight's terrible. I couldn't read that far anyway.
Okay, so the first one is from 2002, Eternal Darkness.
Don't know it.
Don't know it.
Or I might. What does it look like?
The game follows multiple protagonists across different time periods, all connected by the cursed Tome of Eternal Darkness. As the story unfolds, players witness the slow unraveling of their character's sanity, manifested through hallucinations, distorted visuals, and manipulative tricks like fake system errors or deleted save files. The game's unique sanity meter mechanic adds a layer of tension, making it one of the most innovative and unsettling horror experiences in gaming history. Eternal Darkness remains a cult classic, revered for both its bold experimentation in gameplay and its narrative. I believe this was a GameCube launch title.
Oh, that's why I never had a GameCube. So the reason I wouldn't have played this game is like it just doesn't look like a horror game. If I'd seen any screen, look at it. Like, it looks like like Tomb Raider,
an adventure game. Yeah,
it's really bright.
So this is the first game to use the sanity meter.
Oh,
really?
Very first one. Yeah,
even before like Amnesia.
Yep, pretty sure. Well, when was Amnesia
even if
out?
that does that.
I mean, yeah, this is earlier.
Wait,
than Amnesia.
is the PS2 before this or after?
Same time.
Oh, yeah.
Same time. Yeah, so it got to the point where like it said it was deleting your save files. Like if your sanity meter keep going down, it would go in and say save file confined. I'm not sure. I've never actually played it myself. It's a very expensive game on the GameCube now.
Because I've got one which I weirdly owned for a weird reason because this a workmate I was working with at the time said, "Oh, I really like this game," and I saw it in a bargain bin. I bought it, and now it's worth like $300 or something. It's called Haunting Grounds.
Yeah, right.
And it's like a real strange game where you're just a woman in this house. This is on like, are you finding it, Brayden?
Yep.
You're just walking around and you find this dog and it follows you, but you fully have to train it. But you fully have to train it. It's like training a dog. Like it doesn't even like.
Is it Shenmue?
No, you have to. It takes so long to make the dog do anything that like you have, as in like you know how long it takes the dog to teach it to do something. It's like almost like treating a real dog, and you've got no weapons, and you're in this house, and there's this giant kind of disabled man like walking around, like kind of like the guy from Goonies, and he just wants to hug you, but if he hugs you, he kills you, and so you just have to run and hide and stuff. But you have like a thing where if you stuff up too much, so you get fear, and your controls stop working properly if it's too scary. Like for your character, it's got this like fear meter kind of thing. This game is like real weird. Like as in like there wasn't a game like it when I played it. I didn't like it. Like they liked it because I'm used to like, you know, shooting people and that, but you have to train the dog, but like the dog is just so useless a lot of the time. So you have to, you know, if it does something that you like, you have to give it like treats and that so it will think that it'll do. It's like training a real dog. So it's like real hard.
This game is like a fever dream.
Yeah, and hide in cupboards and like, and this thing is like a nemesis character. It's just always walking through, so it can not be there for some part. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's not random. It's just
it's walking a path, and you may come across that path.
Yeah, and it's just and I'm just real happy because like I looked it up the other day because someone said like most expensive games on the PS, and like I've got it, and I bought it for $5. It was in like the bargain bin.
Yeah,
and I only bought it because I was just trying to bond with like one of my like employees. It's not my employees, co-workers.
Yep,
just trying to bond. Hey, I'll get it. It's super cheap, and I tried it a couple of times, and then I just realized the other day, oh yeah, I've got that.
Nice,
but
it's
got some good death scenes in it, apparently.
Yeah, right.
Not that I really got that
there's
far.
a slow-mo arrow going straight for the... Didn't show. Okay. Yeah. Next game from 1992. Surely you've played this one. Alone in the Dark.
I still have I bought this on PC, and it comes with a tiny little... You know those tiny books they used to make?
Yep.
Like, they used to print the Bible like this big?
Yep.
It comes with one of them where it's got all the codes for you to get into the game each time. So you have to have this, like...
This is clearly horrifying.
Yeah, this game was hard.
Yeah?
It's one of those games where you're like, you never got too far as a kid. You just kept like dying and you couldn't work out what to do. Because they've remade this just recently.
Yes.
With like bloody Stranger Things sheriff as like, one of the main characters.
Yep.
What's his name?
David Harbour.
Yeah.
He was Hellboy.
He was.
Before the new Hellboy.
That new Hellboy
He was the middle Hellboy.
I've banged on it. That new Hellboy movie is so good.
Really? The newest new one?
Yep. The Crooked Man. It is so good. It's like an Italian horror film.
Better than The Golden Army? Because that movie is pretty great.
No, it's different reasons. Like,
Yeah, different way.
It's like watching. Did you ever see The Witch?
Yes.
It's like that, but with Hellboy in it. Like
cool.
it's like a folk horror, and there's only like 3 characters in the film, and it's so good.
Sorry, I was thinking of Witches, the Roald Dahl movie.
No. Yeah, I remember this with the sword and trying to get these bloody chicken dogs.
Chicken dogs.
Look at them, they've got chicken bodies.
Look at the zombie next to him.
Look. Oh man, that game. But I've still got the code book in case anyone's got a PC version and they can't get into it. Because it was like bound and everything. It was like a little blue cover.
This was the game that was the first one to do that type of fixed cameras, exploring the room. This is where Resident Evil got their idea from.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Yeah, because this is way before Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But and then there was the Christian Slater film. They made Light in the Dark with Christian Slater.
I bet this actually this has a real charm.
I
to
never
it.
even saw. I never got that far.
It's a
Demon.
dragon.
It's a flipping.
Demon.
It's a bloody gymnastic demon, just doing flips.
Surely there's a better way to kill someone, demon. Instead of flipping and hitting him with the tail.
Yeah, you've got claws.
Oh, on a haunted night. What a night for a night. All right, next one. Now, these next couple,
Ooh,
these might be you've either played them or you've never heard of them before.
I've heard of them.
Oh, so from 1996, Harvester, a PC point-and-click adventure that was developed by DigiFX Interactive and released in 1996. Steve Mason wakes up one day in a surreal 1950s town with no memory of who or what he is. As Steve explores the town, he descends further and further into an ultra-bloody and visceral nightmare. Harvester, one of the most controversial games of its time, blends gratuitous violence and oddball cartoon humor that skewers the discussions of excessive video game violence from the time.
This game is still, I think, one of the most gruesome video games of all time.
Have you played this?
Yeah. I did a video for this channel about this.
Did you?
Yeah,
Whoops.
remember my most gory game?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it was in that
I
video.
think that video is the only one that still gets views on that channel.
Yep.
It's still and this has there's a story behind this game. It's real weird. As in I can't remember what it is, but there's some just scenes in this game that are just known forever, and I can't remember what they are. I just can't remember. There's some really strange childbirth and child stuff in it.
Oh, probably don't want to go there.
It's not like.
But you basically walk around just shooting people, yeah? Point and click, bang bang.
It's kind of it's. I think what makes it weird is it's just normal people. It's like
It's FMV.
but it's like you could be the problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're a you could be the delusion. There is there's a half a cat on that table.
Yeah, right.
There's animal violence. There's child violence. There's toddler violence. It's got.
Yeah, this isn't a cool game. I probably regret putting it.
No.
in this.
This is great. This is no, but this is where all this kind of stuff is coming. This is the visceralness of these people that are can make a game and they've just.
You just chop that dude's head off with a pitchfork.
Yeah, but this is untapped creativity of people doing whatever they want. There's no they're not trying to get Steam wish lists. They're not trying to they're doing this purely because they wanted to make this game, which is crazy weird.
All I can see is he's just going around killing people.
Yeah, but he might. I don't think that works.
Just killing people.
Yeah, but you can do that.
So what's the point of the game?
I can't remember. It's so long that I always get confused with Darkseid.
Right.
The Giga game, Geiger.
Geiger? No.
You
Lost.
know him. He's got the
HR Geiger.
Yeah, his game.
Yeah, right. This one isn't his game. It's Phantasmagoria from 1995, another FMV point-and-click adventure. It had extreme controversy and scrutiny upon its release. Adrienne Delaney and her husband, Don Gordon, move into a mysterious mansion on the New England coast, only to be beset by increasingly violent and macabre incidents. As players guide Adrienne through her new home, the truth behind the mansion's grisly past and its demonic hosts come to light. Phantasmagoria was banned by retailers and governments alike, facing boycotts all across the country when it was released due to its graphic content.
So this is a Sierra game, and I know this because I've just finished the Sierra novel. Like
Oh,
the
really?
Big all about Sierra, written by the guy who started Sierra. So his wife. This is the first game with FMV in it ever.
Oh, really?
Yep. They got bought a studio, and yeah, they did this. So. And she's fully was into a lady made this game.
A lady made this game.
His wife made this whole game. She wrote it all. She got it all organized. She got all the script. She did it all. And it sold. It at one stage it was like one of the highest selling games ever.
Wow.
So it got banned in all these places, but this game is legendary. What's her name? I can't remember their names. What's her? She's a tiny. Oh, see that?
There's trowel in the mouth.
Yeah, she's a tiny little woman, and yeah. What are their names? I can't remember.
Oh, well, not important.
When you read a whole novel and then you just can't remember the people's names that it's about.
Yep.
Yeah, the Sierra story's so good. It's just like. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So bloody game all around. Another
game.
one, and I'm not sure if you would have heard of this one because it's from 1989 and it's called Sweet Home.
Alabama.
Now, this one is a Famicom exclusive horror RPG. As 5 people enter the abandoned Maima mansion in hopes of discovering rare frescoes, they find themselves trapped in the mansion and surrounded by endless ranks of the dead. A seminal pioneer for the survival horror game and one of the most influential horror games of all time, Sweet Home becomes the foundation of what would inspire the entire Resident Evil franchise.
I have heard of this.
Players
Of Ross.
Players must manage limited inventory space, key item usage, rationed health, and difficult enemy encounters as the horror of the whatever.
Mamiya.
Thank you. Mamma Mia crashes in around them.
Wow.
Sorry, that's terrible. I laughed so loud into the mic. I'm so sorry, everyone.
For the podcast listeners, you can't hear me because you're deaf. Yeah, so you have played this on, Dan? No?
I just know of it. And I've watched video essays on it and stuff because I'm one of those people.
So what's it about?
It's exactly what you just said. It's like a horror one with more than kind of one character. But if I remember, you've got those characters that follow you, but if they die, they're gone.
Yep.
So and they have certain traits. So it's your lives are the people.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
So if a teammate dies, there's a chance you can't make it through a puzzle?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Okay.
I don't know enough.
Anyway, I thought it was cool that, again, one of these really, really early games from 1989 was sort of the inspiration of Resident Evil as well.
What's that NES game that's super violent that came out and it's like a shooting game?
A shooting game.
You shoot with the what's the light gun?
Yep.
It was an actual game that came out and it's
Duck Hunt.
No, it's so it's a real game that came out and it's so violent and oh my god. Can you just look that up, Brayden? There's SNES light gun gore.
SNES or NES?
NES.
ANES?
NES.
I'm bringing that back.
Yeah, while Brayden finds that, we'll talk about the next one.
We'll talk about the last one. The last one I've got here. And I'm
Chiller?
Chiller, that's it.
Chiller?
Put it up
All right, I'm on it.
when he's on it.
What's Chiller? All right, we'll talk about Chiller just after we've talked about Silent Hill from 1999. Developed by Team Silent and published by Konami in 1999. Floppy's going to be so angry we're talking about Silent Hill. Silent Hill stands as one of the greatest horror games of all time.
This is the new one.
After narrowly avoiding an accident the night prior, Harry Mawson awakes to find himself in the cursed town of Silent Hill. Searching for his daughter, Harry learns of Silent Hill's violent past and the living nightmare that possesses it. Trading gunplay and deep combat for pure survival and atmosphere, Silent Hill is a masterclass in audio and visual design. Well, is it? It's a lot of fog. As the fog-laden town morphs into a rusted and twisted hellscape come nightfall, players must use their puzzle-solving skills more than their trigger fingers to survive the experience. Silent Hill is physical proof that the true horror games don't need cutting-edge hardware and modern presentations to instill fear and tension. Do you have this game?
Yeah.
This game's worth $300 as well.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I've got the OG of this.
Really?
Kudrev just gave it to me one day.
Oh, really?
He's like, here you go, mate. You like horror?
Well, if If you ever want to sell it, I know a co-host of this show who's desperate to buy one.
Who?
Floppy. It's his last game that he needs to complete his childhood collection.
I don't like selling stuff. You know that. I prefer to have it sitting there. This game is great. It's weird how good this game is. Like for a time when, you know, there was so many tank control games like, you know, Resident Evil that's coming out, and it's so hard to move. Like, you can still move pretty good in this game, even though it was tanky.
Right.
If you know what I mean. But, like, yeah, just, I always remember, like, you just go to the school, and there's these, like, tiny little ghosts. They're, like, this big, like, little babies. And they're, like, see-through. You can't see them, but if you walk into them, they go, ee! And they walk off, and then just fade away again. They don't do anything. And like, they're just all through the school. Like, they're, like, the ghosts of, like,
kids who were killed,
newborns.
Oh, jeez.
And like just stuff like, but it doesn't say that, and you just look at it and you're like, oh, I guess that's what that is. Like,
is this the one with the really cool ending where you walk in and it's a Shiba Inu?
That's number 2.
That's number 2.
Yeah, that's one of the endings which is really hard to get. So the Silent Hill endings are just like real hard to get, as in like, it's not a matter of how well you play or what you do. It's just like, if you didn't do on this level, go to this one room and click this one switch, like, you just can't get that ending. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
It's like, they're real weird things, like specific, like, you need to go here and put this thing in here and then half solve this puzzle and then do, you know what I mean? Like, they're a bit weird, some of the endings. Like you just wouldn't ever know, like, you couldn't do them unless you accidentally did it, and then you wouldn't know how you did it.
They're basically there for people doing video essays.
Yeah, but it's weird because, like, it was before all that stuff.
Yeah, this was back in the 90s, bro.
Yeah. No, I know,
I mean,
but like, they're like, people are going to think on this.
Yeah. I mean, they're not all like that. Some of the endings are a bit more obvious. But, yeah, Silent Hill was a great one. Like, and the first one's so good, and it's just like, you know, you've got your maps and that, and it's that first game I ever saw where you, like, you know, you come to a locked door and you look at the map and your character is written on it, like scribbled out. In the new remake of 2, he actually, like, you see him when you go out of the map, you see him drawing the stuff on the map. The new remake's really good, hey? Like, of the second one.
So why did they remake the second one but not the first?
But probably because, I don't know, maybe it's like, I mean, the second one has Pyramid Head in it, and I think
That would be it.
That's
really?
Yeah, it's the one that everyone...
Just the marketing?
Yeah, it's the one that everyone knows. Like Silent Hill 1, like, it's not as well known, the story. The thing I don't like is in Silent Hill 2 is, like, in the first one, you know, you've got the thing where, like, the world changes and, like, it all, like, up. That doesn't happen in number 2. That's just the Silent Hill 1 thing.
Yeah, right.
In number 2, it's just, like, as you go on, like, it just gets like that. It just starts to, like, you know, each place you get to is even more grosser and that. But the new ones, like, when you start going to the hell worldy, I don't know what they're called, like the grossy, rusty world, it's just so, like, detailed now and crazy good. And I'm like, oh man, this is so good. Like, all the paint's all peeling. Like, every room is like bespoke. You know what I mean? They haven't repeated anything in any room. So you just, like, every bit, like, wall has got, like, new slime coming, you know, like, this is number 2.
Yeah. Look at Brayden. Brayden's having a good time watching this.
This is a new one.
Having a fun time, Brayden?
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
That thing was vomited on the ground.
Who's this Zipper Man?
That's just the base enemy.
Oh,
and if you hit them on the ground, they scurry off like, and then do just their legs, and, you know, they put a whole bunch of, like, different attacks and stuff. Yeah.
Should we have a look at Chiller? So we see this NES shooting game that Dan was talking about.
All right, we got.
Yeah, I can't believe this game existed.
I've never even seen it. Oh, I probably have seen it. Chiller for share data. So was this a published licensed NES game?
Yeah, there's something about it. Like, it came out and then they just pulled it.
Really?
They didn't realize, or something like that. Maybe. Like, that's just like, look at this. Like, go to, like, the second level. Like, there's like it's just maybe like there's like it looks like a torture chamber.
Oh, it was an HES game.
Wait, not this one. Yeah, the grey one, Brayden. Yep. Yeah, look at this. So, like,
I remember this from your videos. Yeah.
Like, you just
shooting body parts. You shoot a child,
and, like, you shoot the rack, the thing, and it pulls the person apart, and, like, yeah, and, like.
So I don't think this had
the ectoplasmic tabulator.
I don't think this had a PAL release. This was only in the US. And like
Oh, dang.
box copies have sold anywhere from 200 to
this
300.
is the one I remember. Look, crushing his head. And look,
Chop off with the head.
yeah, this is the better torture shame. But look, chop his leg off. Like,
Oh my goodness.
oh, man, I would have, I would have loved this as a kid. I would have been all over it. Like I mean, I was like, you know, even stuff like in Tony Hawk Pro Skater when the skateboard fell over and blood came out of their mouth, I thought it was cool. But that would have blown my mind as like a nest.
Box art's amazing. Brayden, you got the box art for it?
I can find it.
Box art's really cool. But yeah, it's selling in the US anywhere from $200 to $400.
Yeah, it did exist. Like, it wasn't just like a...
No, I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to see if there's actually...
You don't have that, do you? You want that?
Well, I mean, it's not a...
And you don't want a banned, like, NES game.
Was it banned?
I don't know. But how good is that art? Look at that. The skeleton arms coming up out of the grave is the box art.
No, it
how
was
good
released.
Is the font?
It was... the font's amazing. It was released in Australia, but it's an HES game. So there you go.
Yeah, but you want the OG. Like, you want the real cartridge.
Well, it is a real cartridge. Look at it.
No,
You can get one now for $55, free postage.
But it's not the real one.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
Chill.
Anyway, so there's some retro horror games that you should play because...
Post Halloween.
yeah. Well, it's mainly because Dan's here.
It's also like, we had Halloween. Love Halloween. It's great. And then the next day was the Christmas pageant. And I'm like, as a kid, like, you just like got into Halloween, you've done your dress ups, you're going to get your candy and that. And then the next day is like the Christmas pageant. And like, way to confuse some like real young kids.
How do you think they feel in America? They've got freaking election day, then Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And then,
That's rough, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
dang.
All right. Let's play a little game called Do They Know Video Games? Premise is very, very simple. I have 4 questions here, 2 from me, 2 from our Patreon producer level supporters. I ask a question with 4 possible answers. After I finish the 4th possible answer, either Brayden or Dan.
Bran from
Sure,
Game of
amalgamation.
I was
Thrones.
going to say Game of Thrones.
Will yell out their name if they think they know the answer. If they get it right, they get a point. If they don't get it right, they don't. Dan, because you're not on here much, your answers are worth 2 points.
Cool. I'm going to get 0.
Well, you never
That's
know.
my goal.
You never know.
I'm going to try and answer all of them all wrong.
All right, so the first one, as always, I've got my book. My book, Test Your Video Game IQ. I will start flipping pages. Brayden, if you can please say stop.
Stop.
Okay, Dan, please choose a number.
Wait, do I have to, is it like I have to beat Brayden to the answer?
Yeah, so after I finish the 4th question, 4th possible answer, so D, whoever shouts their name first.
I'm glad I know that because I just would have like sat and thought and just lost.
All right, so choose a number between 226 and 233.
233.
All right, 233. Oh, it's right up your alley, actually. I just have to find the answer. Hang on, give me 2 secs. Okay, here we go.
All right.
233, that is the answer right
So
there.
Brayden
Okay.
can get this as well.
Yes, correct.
Say your name.
Yep. The last published EA Sports MVP baseball featured this player on the cover. A, Manny Ramirez. B, David Ortiz. C, Alex Rodriguez. Or D, Derek Jeter.
Dan.
Yes, Dan.
Alex Rodriguez.
Incorrect. It wasn't Alex.
Can I have what was B again?
David Ortiz.
I'm gonna go with B.
Incorrect. It was Manny Ramirez. Come on, guys. Like, everyone knows that.
Oh,
Man,
who
that
did he
was
play for, Ben?
That was a shit
Sorry?
story.
Who did he play for?
The Cubs.
Oh, you reckon? You reckon someone from the Cubs was on the cover of a baseball game before 2015?
Yeah.
I
Put some
doubt
money on the
that.
Cubbies. You say things confidently enough, no one will ever question you.
Who was it again?
I don't know. Manny Ramirez.
Manny Ramirez.
Manny Ramirez.
I want to know
Guaranteed.
who he played for.
He played for the Cubbies.
Next.
No, he played for... Oh, God, he played for a couple people.
Cubs?
No.
Yep, he did.
Let's go.
I was right. I was
He
correct.
bats right-handed.
Yep, cool. All right, next one's from Dylan the Villain.
Dylan the Villain!
In The Sims 2, when you buy a game console, which EA game automatically is included with the console that your Sims play? Is it A, FIFA 05, B, SSX Tricky, C, The Herbs, Sims in the City, or D, C, what was the word? Pride and accomplishment.
Oof.
Anyone?
Dan, B.
Dan B?
Yeah, then the snowboarding.
Yep, you're correct.
Yeah.
Did you know that one?
Oh, I just thought about what year it
What?
came out and what year The Sims was.
Oh my god. How did you get that?
I just matched it to the year. Like, I thought, what's the one that'll be around that time?
I have to say, that is more thought than anyone has ever put into this quiz, ever. Using logic. Who would have thought?
Oh my
All right, here we go. Now, this one I chose specifically for Dan. So, sorry, Brayden. Okay. In the first Doom. So I'm talking about Doom number 1.
Oh,
The original.
This is
I might
very,
not know. Like,
This
for
is
some
very
weird
for
reason.
Dan.
Now I'm under pressure. I'm sweating.
The first Doom takes place on a moon of Mars. However, where did the image of the blood red sky come from?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, okay.
A. Yongshu, China. B. Mount Fuji, Japan. C. Queensland, Australia. Or D. Mar-a-Lago in actual hell.
I don't know because this wasn't in any of their novels. I know where like the textures from heaps of the walls came from. When one of them got injured, like really bad, his shins, and they just took photos of it and put it in the game. So all those textures are like his scab on his leg.
Oh my god.
I thought that would have been.
So is anyone going to call out and take a
Brayden.
stab in the dark? Yes,
What
Brad.
were they again?
I'm going to go with a B.
B. Mount Fuji?
Mount Fuji.
Incorrect.
Dang.
Dan, all yours. Your choices are Yangshu in China, Queensland, Australia, or Mar-a-Lago in actual hell.
I'm gonna go the Yangshu.
I'm going to go another 2 points for you, Mr. McGinnis.
Oh my god.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
Dude, back in the 90s, I didn't even know what Australia was.
All right. And then we can see on the screen someone playing SSX Tricky.
Tricky.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's tricky.
Tricky. All right. Last one's from Townsy. Michael Towns. Patreon producer. Michael Towns asks, the Japanese equivalent of the Nintendo Selects line of discounted Nintendo 3DS games had a different title. Was that title A, Player's Choice, B, Happy Price Selection, C, Everyone's Recommendation Selection, or D, Buy Me Bone Storm or Go to Hell?
What was I didn't hear the start of the question. What was it? What are we naming?
Yeah, I lost. The start of the question was worded in a very strange way.
From Michael Towns? No. So basically, when Nintendo wanted to move some old copies of cartridges,
Yes.
they'd bring out the Nintendo Selects line, and it usually had a border around it, and it was a little bit cheaper
Oh,
than
I
when it
thought you were
originally
talking
came
about
out.
an online store.
No. This is physical.
Okay.
Okay, so basically when they wanted to get rid of stuff.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
it
What
Nintendo
were they again
Selects?
quickly? The options?
So it was either called A, Player's Choice, B, Happy Price Selection,
Brayden.
C, Everyone's Recommendation Selection, or D, Buy Me Bone Storm or Go to Hell. Yes, Brayden.
I want it to be B.
You'd want it to be B, do you?
Yes.
I would have said B as well, but
Well,
I
you
won't.
are correct, Brayden.
Yeah.
It is
Happy price selection.
B. Well,
That's great. That's such a good translation.
damn, Brayden said B. I want to go whilst I was listening to the options. Because I didn't listen to the first time.
Well, technically, I already gone through the options, so Brayden was allowed to jump in. I was almost
Thank
going to
you.
penalise them, but I decided not to. Because
you.
technically, plus it's just really, really fun looking at these scores now and the animosity it's going to bring.
Oh my god.
At the end of that round, we have Jazz on 1, Dan on 4, Angie
well
on
done.
3.
Well done, Dan.
Yeah, well done, Dan. I'm on 6.
I would have got that last one as well.
Zach's on 16. Anto's on 17. And tied for first place, Brayden and Floppy, both on 20 each.
Bring it.
You know what? I actually want Brayden to win this year because it'll teach those other two to actually show up to these things.
And I might actually win something for once.
You've won things before.
Oh,
You've got 20 questions right this year.
There you go.
Yes. Actually, yeah, when you put it like that, that sounds great.
Yeah. How many shows have we done? It's November.
20.
Don't think about it.
We won't do the math. But Dan, you got anything to plug as we wrap up this old contest?
Okay, so
life.
if you want to go to my podcast, a horror podcast, so it's TerraVision Horror Podcast, just look up that word on the internet. You have to write TerraVision Horror Podcast. You have to write horror podcast or you won't find it because
Oh, really? Why? Because the movie,
There's heaps of other stuff that's called Terrorvision.
like the movie, the VHS movie.
Yeah, that's what it's based on.
Yeah.
I have a shop called Greenlight Comics in Adelaide. It's pretty good. It's at
This is what I was going to plug as well.
Unit 4. Unit 4?
Unit.
Yeah, shop for Park Arcade in Gawler Place. I have, what else do I do? Go check out my Discord for End of Ember if you want, and join that, or go to our.
How do we get to the Discord? Is there a link? Is there a place where we can click?
Remember. Just go to we've also got a YouTube. We have everything. If you know what I mean. We got a YouTube. We got a Blue Sky. We got an X. We got a TikTok.
I have been enjoying your deep dev dives that you've been doing on YouTube.
Deep dev dives.
We did a really good one today. Yeah.
Yeah?
It's
What
all
was it
about,
about?
it's actually a lot of what we talked about today. It's about like it's not up yet. It's about the whole Reddit fiasco.
Okay.
But we show all the posts.
I thought I got deleted.
Yeah, but like Chad's the producer, and he screenshotted everything the second he sees something.
Right.
For later. So like all the good comments are there. We've ratted out the people's names, but like if you want, be able to see them, a lot more of them, and we go through each one and say like, yeah, I suppose that's like okay. And
Do you laugh? Any just so ridiculous you can't help but laugh?
I do. I've got one here. Do you want to read it?
All
out?
right, yeah, all right, go on.
So.
So these are actual complaints.
You're gonna have to read it
All right, I'll read it.
because
Okay, so this person writes, first of all, OP, original poster, you know that this is bad. This whole account is cross-posting to every popular subreddit under the sun with probably the edgiest taglines I've ever seen. This is clearly just a promo and a bad one at that. Yeah, you got called out there. Fair warning. There is no chance this gets picked up by a digital publisher full stop. To be honest, anyone interested in it is probably already on a watch list. And anyone looking at it is going to end up on one, especially you and your studio. I'll be looking up federal law in your home country for the penalties for producing child porn. On the most extreme end, because that's essentially what this is.
wait for the next paragraph.
I didn't watch the trailer!
Amazing.
Wait.
Amazing.
After refreshing the page and reading each comment, but I've read the descriptions and gleaned a pretty good impression of the content of this game. Maybe if you cut the child nudity,
In capital letters, child nudity. There is no child nudity.
you could find the audience for it on Steam or GOG. If you're after realistic publishing advice for a child nudity-less version of the game, the occasional subtle post on 4chan is literally your best bet. A bare-bones website with a PayPal portal and an executable download might have a bit of success. You're still probably going to prison.
The last line, you're still probably going to prison.
I didn't actually watch it.
But I don't know. I didn't see what you did. Like, I don't know what crime you did. But
Because
you're
it's so
going
hard
to,
to
but
wa-
you're going to prison.
Just to look at it. No, he's going to personally find out what country you're in.
So we looked up that person who did that comment, and they were on Reddit for like 22 hours a day, playing like a duel game or some shit. Like, I'm like, wow, that's classic.
Wow.
So that was just that's the only one I screenshot because I thought that was funny, but he did them all.
Oh man, that was funny.
Yeah, like that's like Reddit in a nutshell. And the fact that halfway through that I don't actually know what I'm talking about because I didn't actually look
see
at
it. But from what others said, I'm pretty sure I know what you did. Okay, those people voted. Anyway, Brayden, what do you want to talk about?
I am an employee of the wonderful Dan McGuinness over at Greenlight Comics. You should go to greenlightcomics.com. I put a lot of work there on the blog and on the pre-order form, which you can check every week for all the cool upcoming stuff.
Brayden, what's Marvel doing at the moment? What bullshit are they pulling?
They're doing some fun variant covers for Marvel vs. Capcom.
Actually, that looks really cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
they've
my
done
goodness.
a couple of them.
Is there a Ryu one?
What about
No,
what
they're
about-
just doing the Marvel characters.
What about bloody Blood Hunt?
Blood Hunt, yeah, Marvel's Blood Hunt.
Blood Hunt.
We got
it
the
came out with two versions. So it came out with the PG version and the red band one, which actually has different content in it. It has people dying in it. So the same comic, and then so we're just like, well, we're not getting that. We're only getting the red band ones because no one.
That's
wanted
the only
that.
one people wanted.
That's the only one people wanted. And then they bring out the graphic novel only has the PG one. in the graphic novel.
Oh, so those red band ones
So
will
I'm,
be...
I'm
Why-
personally hoping that they realize the error of their ways and release like a sealed hardcover of the Red Band edition.
But
We'll see.
It's got Blade in it.
But The Cults of the Lamb, first
Yeah.
comic, is on pre-order right now. It cuts off Sunday, so if you're watching this afterwards, still message us. We'll try and get you a copy.
And Doctor Doom is the Sorcerer Supreme now.
Yep.
Books of Doom.
Doctor Doom is the Sorcerer Supreme at the moment. It's the year of Doom. They're leaning really hard on Doom.
I think Doom's a whack character.
Well, he's Robert Downey Jr.
Although,
now.
do you have a favourite Doom? Do you have Doom that's horribly disfigured, or do you have Doom that has one tiny nick on his face and therefore
That's
wears
my
a
Doom.
mask because he's not perfect?
That's my Doom.
How good is that?
That is my Doom, baby.
I think that's the best. I reckon that will be the. I reckon that's who the one they'll use. Because
Well, it's Robert Downey Jr.
yeah,
so-
why would you not have Robert Downey Jr.'s like face? If you're going to use Robert Downey Jr., why would you just disfigure him? It could be anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's like the Mandalorian.
yeah. Well, I suppose they did that, but like, but yeah, like I love the idea of a Doom that just has one little scratch and he's not perfect, so he sees himself as hideous, so he wears the mask.
Yep, yep.
So, such a better
great.
Doom.
Doom was in
See,
Fortnite.
I know about comics, eh?
Yeah, of course you do. You own a comic store.
Yeah, but like everyone thinks I don't know about superheroes. I could do a whole. How long has this been going for? I could have
Too long.
I could have set this whole podcast today. Could have been me talking about the Authority.
Yeah.
Like I could have done an hour
Well,
and 50 minutes of the Authority.
Way back
talk.
when we started this show, we used to have a comic book section where we would talk about the comic news and comic book stuff, but it didn't like trend well,
comic
so
book
we ditched
nudes.
it. Yeah, that's right. Comic book nudes. Hopefully, no one on Reddit finds out where I live and wants me to go to jail.
Oh, we got some actual
What?
S tier Doom.
Oh, okay.
Gillian Mackerel.
You can find me over on Super Retro Squad, where I go out with my little GoPro and I film all the cool things that I find. Very exciting. This weekend and next weekend is the Garage Sale Trail.
Oh, I like that.
so that's where,
it's like the oregano trail. No,
Oregon.
oregano trail.
So
You died of dysentery.
it's
Dyslexia.
it is the time of the year where people just there's an official map. You know, there's not an app for garage sales, but there's an official app where people put up that they're having a
not?
garage sale. No,
There's a market.
there is, but no one.
You know, my wife like joined into a public toilet one where you put your public toilet on there.
Yep.
And then and she
You rate it?
She rated it. She did
No,
the Blair
you urinate it.
She did the Blair National Park one and like did all the screenshots and everything, and she won like $300 or something. Because she got chosen as like the best toilet or something. I don't know what it was. It was weird. She does stuff like that all the time, and just stuff like that happens to her.
It sounds
Damn.
like a typical McGuinness lock to me.
That app sounds like a piece of piss.
Ba-dum-bum.
Wow.
But yeah, Super Retro Squad. You can head over there. I think either next week or the week after will be the Adelaide Comic and Toy Fair video finally coming out.
Finally.
Because I have a backlog. Yeah, we're going to do a little competition. We're going to take a tub out each, Julian and I, Ghost Games, friends of the show, and we're going to see who picks up the most cool stuff over the course of next 2 weekends. So be sure to head over there. But also be sure, Ben, to thank the Patreons who are very
Thank you, Patreon, for patronising this guy.
Yeah, you help us buy new things and hopefully one day a new computer so I can play Steam games on it. Maybe.
You can play Steam. You can play all the games I mentioned on any computer.
I doubt I could play it on here.
A very big special thank you to our producer level Patreons, Dylan the Villain and Michael Towns, Game Boy Game.
So, until next time we meet, just remember, every breath you take, every step you make, every child you bake.
I'll be eating cheese near you.